In this video, we're going to discuss two new properties of logarithms. The first one is called the product rule, and what we're looking at is a property that says if I have a logarithm with any base and two factors that are multiplied together in the argument of that logarithm, then I can split that logarithm up into the sum of two logarithms where the argument of the first logarithm is the first factor from that product, and the argument of the second logarithm would be the second factor of that product. And this is a strange looking property, so we're going to begin by proving it. This is a proof by deduction, and what that means is that basically we're going to start with the left-hand side and take smaller, more digestible steps and eventually end up with the right-hand side. And the first thing that we're going to do in this proof is we're going to begin by letting cap A represent a complicated piece that shows up in the middle of the proof somewhere. So we do this is a strategy that has been used in U substitution for solving equations in the quadratic form. We let U be equal to a complicated piece, and then that makes the algebra a little bit easier to look at, and then at the end we back substitute. So similarly, we have a complicated piece that appears in the proof. We're going to let some smaller quantity, let's say B, be equal to that complicated piece. That'll make the proof a little bit easier to look at, and then at the end we'll back substitute to where these things came from. Now, as a consequence of this substitution, I get a different substitution for free, which is that lowercase a raised to the cap A as a power is going to be giving me the argument of this logarithm, right? Because of this that we have let cap A be equal to, we also get that lowercase a raised to the cap A power is equal to m. Additionally, we also get a for free substitution with this second declaration where lowercase a, which is the base, raised to the power cap b is going to be equal to the argument of the logarithm. So we started off with something that just with the intention of making it a little bit simpler, so we're letting cap a and cap b be equal to these logarithms, and then as a result we got these secondary substitutions as well. So let's start the proof by deduction. And by deduction, what that means again is that we begin with the left-hand side of what it is that we're trying to prove, and we're just going to make smaller steps until what we have on the right is what we're trying to achieve. So what we'll notice here is that cap m is what we ended up with when we made that original substitution. We got a substitution for cap m for free, and that cap m is equal to a to the cap a. So let's say that this logarithm then becomes cap m, we're going to use a to the cap a in order to represent that, multiplied by cap n, which is going to be equal to a to the cap b. So we'll multiply that by lowercase a to the cap b, substituting in for that cap n. And now we'll look in the inside of this logarithm. Essentially, we have two things that are being multiplied together. They have the same base. And when we have two things multiplied together with the same base, that means that we can add these exponents, right? We add those two exponents in order to write them with that same base a. Now, we're looking at, I'm going to wrap this around to say, let's recopy where we are, log base a of a to the cap a plus b. We're going to now use a property that was established in a different video. So let's just down here recall that the property was log base a of a raised to the r power is going to be equal to r. Remember, a raised to the r power is equal to a raised to the a power in the argument. So we are looking for who is the power that goes on a in order to bring us back to the a raised to the a plus b power in the argument. Well, a raised to the a plus b power is equal to that argument of a raised to the a plus b power. So a plus b, remember, a is what we originally assigned to the complicated quantity log a log base A of m, and b is what we originally assigned to the complicated quantity log base A of n. And so let's back substitute now for these quantities a and b, and we have a is equal to the log base A of m, and b is equal to the log base A of n. And remember, that is what we were trying to prove. That is the second part of the equation that was the property. So we started with the left-hand side. We kept working on that until we ended up with the equation that was on the right-hand side, and therefore we'll say, essentially, we're done. This little box with an X in it means I'm finished with my proof. You could also use the acronym QED, which is Latin for which was to be proved. I think it's quadrata demonstratum.